guys, welcome back. So today I have a really great song for you, very catchy, very cool, and if you've never heard it before, you're welcome. And I apologize, because after you listen to it, it's going to be stuck in your head for a week. Unless you're a soulless bastard like my older brother who hates this song. But anyway, the song is fantastic. It's produced incredibly well. The reverb on all the instruments, the reverb on the vocals, the harmonies and the chorus. It has such a great feel. And it always seems like it's the simple songs that really just pull on your heartstrings and make you want to dance a lot, right? The song is just 3 chords the entire time. It's just D, E minor, and G. But we're going to play it in an open tuning where we can keep the strumming alive and keep the vibe and feel of the song with the right hand, but follow his vocal melody along at the same time. So we're going to play an open D. We're going to do Dadgad. Now, I had experimented with the G string. Anytime you're in an open tuning, always experiment with the G string, because that seems to be the culprit on whether or not you can play certain chords and how difficult they are. So I put this in F sharp, I put it in A, but G just seemed to work out the best. So we're just going to tune from low to high: D, A, D, G, A, D. Alright, and that'll be the tuning we'll use for the whole song. Alright, so we'll start out with this intro. In the intro, we're just going to be going. Alright, maybe a little hard to hear those high E notes in the mix here, especially on an electric guitar. But I'm phrasing it just a little bit different than he does on the recording, just because I'm kind of going by memory and just using my own kind of feel with it. But we're just going to have all the strings open, have 2 on G, and we're going to go back and forth from 2 to 4 on G. Go 4, 2, and then to open. Then we're going to play this E minor thing. Just have E, A, and D on 2, open G and B. Put your pinky down on 2. Give it a down, up, down, then take your pinky off. Then we'll go into this G thing here, E and A on 5. I'll go pinky on 5 for like a down up, and then 4 with my index finger on the high E string. And then after you go 4 on E, just hit it open, and go back to 4 on E. Alright, so that'll be your intro. Alright, so after that intro, we get into the verse. We're kind of following the vocal melody now from here forward. And we start out with Our Hearts Are Free. We'll have that So I'm going to start out, I'm going to not hit the low E string. It's not the end of the world if you hit it, but I just have the open A, D and G on 4, open B and E. We're basically playing like this B shape here, but I'm leaving out the root. And then we'll slide into this D, 5, 7, 7, A, D, and G, hit the open E, and then open B and E. You'll get into it with an upstroke. Go back to D and G on 4. Then slide up into 7, 9, 9, A, D, and G, have the open B and E. I mute out the low E, but you can kind of experiment if you like that sound or not. I just didn't want to have that D in the bass on this chord. So we're basically playing like a, some kind of E minor 7 type of thing, E sus. I don't know, I'll figure out what the chord is and put it up here in the chord box. And then we'll go 7, 9, 9, A, D, and G, open B and E. Then I'm going to take my pinky off of 9, roll your index finger over, bar A, D, and G on 7. Alright, so you have... Okay, then this next part, this is the hardest part of the song in my opinion. We're going to go... Because you really have to bar hard, and you kind of have to squint your fingers in to get it in time. So we're going to have 10, 12, 12, A, D, and G. Have the low E, B string, and high E open. Then take your pinky off 12, go to 11 on G with your middle finger. Then go to 10 on A, bar D and G on 9, have the open low E, open B, and open high E. have the open E, go to 9 on A, bar D, G, and B on 7 with the open E string. Then take the same fingering with your index and ring finger, go up to 10 on A, bar D, G, and B on 9, have 11 on G with your pinky, take your pinky off, and then just have that bar on 10 and 9. Okay, and then after that, we go right back in. We're going to go 7, 9, A, and D. Kind of started on an upstroke, up, down, up, and then slide back into that D. Okay. Then we're going to go up to 12 on D, 11 on G. You can kind of hit the other strings open. Then back to A and D, 7 and 9, open G, B, and E. This is that I'm the flower, you're the bee. Then put your pinky down. After you put your pinky down on 9, you're just going to do that bar again on A, D, and G on 7. Then back up to 10, 12, A, D, and G, to 11 on G with your middle finger, to open. Then back 12 to 11, and then I hang on 11. Alright, so that whole little part we have Alright, then we get into the next part. Alright, so then we get into the chorus part, and the chorus part is going to start on an upstroke. We're going to have 9 on G, 7 on B, and then all the other strings will be open the entire time. We'll go up, down, and then walk it back to 7G and 5B. And then from here, we'll go up to 9 on G and B. And after you go 9, G and B, we're going to go 9, 7. And then go 7, 5, G and B, and slide back into 9, 7, G and B. Alright, so you have and after you slide in and strum that, I just do an open like G, B, and E. Then we're going to go up to this E minor thing. Have open E, 2 on A and D, open G and B, pinky 4 on the high E, down, up. Then middle ring finger 2 on E, down, up. Then open E, back to 2 on E. Back to open E, right? So you'd have then we're going to go into this little G here. I'm just going to fret the low E on 5, mute out the A string, have D and G and D and G open, high E open, and just go back and forth with my pinky to 7 on B to open. Alright, and then we repeat. Then the second time when we get to this G, I'm just going to go back and forth between 7 on B with my pinky and 7 on the high E, back and forth. You can just kind of play around with the melody. Okay, then it just goes right back into the verse. Starts repeating all that again. And that's the whole song, right? Because the whole song is just 3 chords. It's just D, E minor, G the entire time. And so this is kind of a fun way to play it. If you didn't want to do all the melody stuff, you could just sit here and just play, you know. just sit there and do that, nothing wrong with that. And so that's everything, right? So let's just go ahead and play through it real slow from beginning to end. We'll start with the intro and work our way all the way through it. Alright, so that's everything beginning to end, and then just sit there and kind of take what you want. You know, you don't have to play it just like this, but you can just sit there and just kind of go like, you know. You just simplify it and just play the D, E minor, G that's going on the whole time. But that's everything, right? It's a great song. It's so catchy. I love the vibe of this song. It's really got that kind of 60s psychedelic type of thing. It almost kind of reminds me of the harmony in like the Beach Boys' Kokomo in the chorus of that song, because the chorus of this song has so many great harmonies and there's so much reverb on all the instruments, especially on the vocals, and it just sounds so amazing, right? I just love it, man. Every time I hear it, I want to dance. It puts me in a good mood. It's just such a cool song. So definitely check it out. I'll put a link in the description. Definitely give it a listen, and I hope you like it. So I hope you enjoy this. Just practice slow, have fun. See you next time.